Okay, it is now Fern's 5th day with us, and something I completely forgot to talk about on day one was toilet training and what we do, what I would advise to do, and maybe what I wouldn't advise to do. So, for toilet training a dog, the very best thing you can have is a cage, which is why she's in a cage at the minute. If you can't 100% supervise the dog and give him 100% attention, they should be in a cage, I think. Some people don't believe in that, some people think cages are cruel, but they're the ones that get things chewed up and stuff destroyed, and the dogs don't learn that they don't wee in the house and stuff like that. There's nothing cruel about this, the dogs love them. Maybe not at first if they're not used to them, but it doesn't take more than a few days for them to get used to it and feel really secure, because we've got covers on them and they're out of the way in a corner of the room where a dog's feeling less vulnerable, rather than just in the middle of the room without a cover on it, making the dog feel vulnerable. So the dog, when is unsupervised, is in the cage, and we go about our daily life or whatever. Even if it's just making a cup of tea, I put the dog in the cage, because for that 2 minutes she might get up to mischief and no good. And everything that the dog does, she's learning that this is what I should do. So if she's wees in the house, every time she does it, she's learning that I should wee in the house, and we don't want that. So we want to wee outside. We've got, in our garden, we've got a bit of grass, a bit of decking, and a bit of block paving. Now, there's 3 different surfaces there. The grass has got thousands and thousands and thousands of blades of grass, and each blade of grass harbours millions of different scents to a dog. So if I was to take my dog onto the grass and put it down there, there'd be that many smells for her that she'd just go crazy and have fun and just play around. The decking is also a surface that would harbour loads and loads of smells, but less so than the grass. And then the block paving is the one that harbours the least amount of smells. So we've gone for that, and because what we want to do is we want to pick the dog up, take the dog out, put her down, and immediately, or within a few minutes, she has a wee or a poo, and she learns that I do this quick. I don't mess around. I'm not here to have fun, not here to play. I'm here to have a wee or a poo. Then I can have the fun and the play. So she's been with us 4 days. What we do in the day is every 20 minutes or so, whether she's in the cage or out, is we take her out and we just stand with her. We put her down at our feet, and I don't make any conversation or any interaction with her whatsoever, except for 2 instances. So the first one, every time she makes any kind of eye contact with me, I praise that, because it's too good an opportunity to miss out on. So I always want to capture that moment where she makes eye contact, so I make a big fuss of it and big praise. And secondly, if she's about to walk away from me, I'll turn and walk the other way and try and attract her to be around me. So I might do it by stamping my feet as I walk away, I might do it as clapping my fingers together as I go away, or I might call her with me. But what I want her to learn is, Daddy's going, I'm anxious about that, I need to be around Daddy. So, and again, that's an opportunity where I don't want her to learn to go away and experiment elsewhere and find other interesting stuff. When the dogs are out having a wee or a poo, we give them a word of command, busy, busy. The reason we do that is because once they know what that means, when we take them out, we don't want to spend 10, 15, 20 minutes in the rain waiting for them to decide to do a poo and play around and mess around. We want to take them, they do a poo or a wee, and we bring them back in. We don't want to stand there getting soaked. Then we can spend that 10 or 15 minutes interacting with them properly. A common mistake though when you're doing that kind of thing is, sorry, I'll just backtrack. The way dogs learn is through association. So you've got 1 second, I call it the 1 second rule, to associate a behaviour that the dog is doing with a word that you choose to give that behaviour. So for example, when we see the dog having a wee or a poo, we say busy, busy. And the dog is then going, oh, I'm doing this, and he's saying that. Those 2 things are associated. So later on down the line, when the dogs learn that, even though the dog isn't doing a wee, if we say that command, the dog will think, well, have I heard that before? When I was having a wee, I know, I'll have a wee. As long as that's strongly imprinted in the dog. A common mistake though is when the dog gets its nose down and starts sniffing around, that people start saying busy, busy, or toilet, or empty, or whatever their command might be. What you're actually doing then, if you go back to the 1 second rule, is teaching the dog that when you say busy, busy, it actually means sniff the ground. And you're turning it the opposite way then. You're going to have 20 minutes of the dog sniffing around because you're standing there going busy, 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 busy. And the dog's saying, well, have I heard that before? Oh, last time when I was sniffing the ground. So mummy wants me to sniff the ground, or daddy wants me to sniff the ground. We don't want that. So when they're sniffing, we completely ignore it, but we observe that this is the behaviour that is indicating there's going to be a wee or a poo, and we're ready to capture the second that they start the process of weeing or pooing. We capture that. Now these little puppies, 8 weeks, 5 days old, the bladders are absolutely tiny, like a thimble, which is why they wee every 20 minutes. So what we're going to do now, she's been in the cage 20-25 minutes. We're going to take her outside and I'll show you what I do. Hopefully she'll do it there and then. If she doesn't do it there and then, we'll just cut the video short, but you'll get the idea. So the only two interactions is where if she moves away from me, I'll call her away, call her back, or I'll move away so she comes back. And if I get eye contact off her, it might be a little bit tricky because my wife's holding the camera, so she might be inclined to run to my wife. So I'm hoping that my wife doesn't interact whatsoever with the dog, and the dog doesn't notice that my wife's there and try and interact. Hopefully we'll get what we want, and if we remember, we'll try and show you the little bit of wee that comes out just so you can see it's literally a tiny little puddle, which is why things need to go every 20 minutes. There's another way of doing toilet training, and that's using puppy pads. But for me, it's sort of counterproductive because yes, it's teaching the puppy to wee on the pad, not anywhere, but it's also teaching the puppy to wee in the house. So you're achieving one goal, but you're also taking a back step and doing something that needs fixing further down the line. So for me, as long as you got the dedication to spend 20 minutes going out every 20 minutes for 5 minutes with the dog, then this is far quicker and far better. Once she's learned, or once she's got a little bit of better bladder control and she's a little bit older, we're going to teach her, if she wants to go through a doorway, she has to sit by the doorway. Then hopefully in her mind she puts a 2 and 2 together, I need to go through that doorway to have a wee, so I'll sit at it. And then we take that as an indication, and then every time the dog's sat at the door, we know she needs a wee and we take her out. So hopefully everything will go like that, and we'll keep you updated throughout the weeks, but we'll take her out now and see how we go. Oh god, too old. Come out with us. Good girl. So as little as possible interaction or talking with the dog. Always pick them up and take them, don't let them walk there. Always have your shoes ready. When we come down in the night time, we have a torch and a key ready to open the back door. And another thing during the night, at the minute, well, when we first got her, we go to bed at 10 o'clock, so we put her out just before that. Then I was getting up at midnight and doing the same process. My wife was getting up at 3 and I was getting up at 6. Because they haven't been eating or drinking during the night, you can extend that period a little bit longer. But we've already noticed that she's got quite a good bit of control anyway, so we've extended that now from midnight to 20 past midnight, from 3 o'clock to 20 past 3, and then back to 6 o'clock when I get up anyway. So sneak the gaps bigger in just 5 or 10 minute increments. Don't go on the hour or on the half hour because it's too much, because as you'll see hopefully, the bladders are tiny and it's not fair on the dog to ask too much. So my wife will just get out of the way where the dog can't see it. Just go stand over there. I'm just going to put the pup down and ignore her. So nose down, that's saying that she needs a wee. Good girl. Busy, busy. Busy, busy. Busy, busy. Busy, busy. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
Good girl, look at that. Good girl.
And there's the tiny little wee. That's my hand. As a comparison, it's a tiny little thing every 20 minutes. And we'll update you soon. Bye bye.